Today we witness a brilliant strategic masterpiece from one of the greatest players in chess history, Judit Polgár. At the 2013 European Team Championship in Warsaw, Polgár faced the talented young Vladislav Kovalev, who would later become a Grandmaster. What followed was a textbook demonstration of the Ruy Lopez, showcasing superior piece activity, strategic pressure, and flawless technique. Let's watch how Judit Polgár turned a small advantage into a memorable victory. Judit Polgár is widely regarded as the strongest female chess player of all time and reached the world's top 10 during her career.
Starting strong with a fundamental versatile first move. Pawns meet in the middle for a symmetrical battle. Adding control of the center with the knight. Black jumps the knight into the game to protect the pawn and reinforce the center. Starting with the Ruy Lopez, White's bishop threatens the only defender of the black center pawn. This forces the bishop to decide, exchange or retreat. White safely retreats the bishop while keeping pressure on the knight. Black attacks the undefended white pawn and develops the knight at the same time. Castling gets the king out of the center and prepares to develop the kingside rook. This develops the dark-squared bishop and prepares to castle. Queen e2 develops the queen and supports the e4 pawn. b5 takes space on the queen side, attacks the bishop on a4 and allows black to fianchetto the light-squared bishop to b7. Bishop b3 retreats the attacked bishop and places it on an active diagonal where it controls the center and attacks the f7 pawn. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. c3 controls the d4 square, prepares the d4 pawn push and opens up the c2 square. d5 gains space in the center, attacks the e4 pawn and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. d3 defends the pawn on e4 and opens the diagonal for the dark-squared bishop to develop. One more piece joins the action. White develops the knight and supports the center. Right on target, a very strong option. Solid move, nothing to complain about there. A very solid choice, right on target. Not entirely sure about that one. There's definitely something better. This loses a pawn. Very strong, one of the best moves. A clear recapture. Great find. This was the only move that works. Moving the rook gives white more flexibility in the middle game. A straightforward recapture. That's right on the money. A very strong option. Only one good move here and you spotted it. This calmly removes the knight from an immediate threat. White's bishop has moved to a square with greater activity and control. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Not the right idea. There were worse moves, but also a much better move. This protects the attacked pawn. That's a super strong option. This permits the opponent to win material through an eventual discovered attack. Soon, White will be able to make a discovered attack to win material. This calmly removes the queen from an immediate threat. Great find. This was the only move that works. After all captures, this is an equal trade. A clear recapture. That was a strong discovery and white will win a pawn. The game was close to equal, but now white has the advantage. Right on target, a very strong option. The best option was to defend a bishop that was under attack. This threatens to checkmate the king. This stops the opponent from being able to checkmate the king. This misses an opportunity to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. The clearly correct move for a threatened bishop. Taking that pawn will win material with the correct trades. This calmly removes the queen from an immediate threat. Only one good move here and you spotted it. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. This move steps the queen out of danger and keeps material balance. A strong fork hits two targets at the same time. A forced move, no other option on the board. Great find. This was the only move that works. This attacks a piece, winning a tempo when it moves away. This creates a counter threat against the queen, as opposed to retreating. A very solid choice, right on target. That's right on the money. A very strong option. This moves the bishop to a more active square, making it gain scope. That's a super strong option. A clear recapture. The better move was to defend a pawn that was under attack. Only one good move here and you spotted it. This moves the knight to safety. The best option was to defend a pawn that was under attack. This calmly removes the knight from an immediate threat. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This was a tough spot. There was only one good move and it was easy to miss. Not entirely sure about that one. There might be better options. A bit of a slip there, wouldn't you say? White was better off, but now their position is winning. Right on target, a very strong option. This threatens to attack the knight with a pawn. The bishop moves out of a pin, while also providing critical defense to a piece. This move puts the rook on a safer square. Only one good move here and you spotted it. This defends a bishop that was under attack and had no defenders. The knight finds a new active square. Great find. This was the only move that works. This stops the opponent from being able to attack the knight with a pawn. The better move was to take an open file with a rook. This permits the opponent to attack the knight with a pawn. The best option was to attack the knight with a pawn. The best option was to capture the checking knight. This moves the knight to safety. Solid move, nothing wrong with that. A very solid choice, right on target. This move steps the knight out of danger and keeps material balance. Only one good move here and you spotted it. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. This permits the opponent to take an outpost with a knight. This takes an outpost, a square where the knight cannot be kicked out by a pawn. That's right on the money. A very strong option. That was a free knight. This calmly removes the rook from an immediate threat. Yes, very strong play, a solid choice. This takes an outpost, a square where the bishop cannot be kicked out by a pawn. That's a super strong option. Very strong indeed, it's a solid choice. This moves the bishop to a better location, allowing it to control more squares. That pawn was free for the taking. Right on target, a very strong option. A clear recapture. A very solid choice, right on target. This defends the attacked pawn. That's right on the money. A very strong option. This leads to losing a pawn. Ignoring the threat on the rook, a difficult move to see.